I'm back! Did you miss me? Hey fam, what's up, what's up, what's up? This is Robert Anton here, robertantonnyc.com, coming to you with your no frills, the voice commentary from a singer! Tonight, the top 12 sing exclusively for the public vote. No more judge saves. Tomorrow night, only one artist from any team will go home. Carson announced the 4 finalists will all have original songs and videos for the finale. Well, that's great to hear. TeamBlake was up first. It was Mary Sarah doing So Small by Carrie Underwood. And in rehearsal, Blake told her she was pinching her vocal cords and said he wanted to hear her fullness. He also had a vision for her look for the performance. And she had a nice clear sound on this with her usual wonderful interpretation as she started out. I like how she bounced into the bridge and really let her vocals sail when the music dropped out. Nice sweet ending. Christina called it a solid performance. Pharrell talked about her hitting the high notes and singing her truth. Adam congratulated her on doing a newer song and said she did a very unique version of it. TeamAdam was up next with Laith Al-Saadi. He did Born Under a Bad Sign by Albert King, and Adam told him to escalate his singing to the growl and work himself into a frenzy because the audience doesn't appreciate subtlety. So Laith shredded right into this on that guitar, set a good vibe, and gave us those gruff vocals right up front. He really looked like he was enjoying himself up there, totally just riding the music, giving a little, little pounce, little bounce, little thing going on, little rhythm. Pharrell and Adam stood for him. Blake said that's as good as it gets. Pharrell said he has real spirit and rock and roll soul. TeamPharrell then had Daniel Passino do Human Nature by Michael Jackson, and Daniel had a lot of ideas going into rehearsal, and Pharrell just told him to not think or get in his own way. So he started this out with just guitar and voice at the top of the stairs, a lot of stars around him, great tone, and he was very confident and grounded. I liked the quick hits throughout the performance, though he went off in his falsetto before he ended it, not his strongest and no wow moment. Adam noticed he was very comfortable and smooth. Christina called it awesome and agreed that it was smooth. And if you think I'm smooth, please make sure to thumb up the commentary and let me know that you are glad that I am back! I'm still suffering a little, but I am back! Alright, this is Robert Anton. Thank you so much for your thumbs. Next on the show, Blake revealed the album cover for his new CD, If I'm Honest, and announced the release date to be May 20th. TeamPharrell had Emily Keener do Lilac Wine by Jeff Buckley, and Pharrell told her to give it some beautiful, delicate things with definition. Her voice sounded really enchanting as she started this out in a near recitative, it's like da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. She had her guitar but was totally focused on the audience and feeling the lyrics. Her pitch was so on point, and I was loving her long, strong, held out straight tones. All the coaches stood for her. Adam called it perfect and said he always wanted to see it on the show. Christina said it was magical and she tapped into so many different emotions. Next up was TeamXtina with Nick Hagelin doing Mine Would Be You by Blake Shelton, and he dedicated this to his wife and sat at the keyboard for rehearsal. Christina told him his voice is best when he's smooth and fluid, and she demonstrated some things for him to follow. So for performance, he sat at the piano to start this and sang in his natural chest voice, which was pretty good. There's something I didn't like about his sound or his production as he went higher in his range. Sounded kind of forced to me. He was trying to fit in the falsetto, which was hit or miss, and this was just okay. Pharrell said Blake should write more songs for him and he should do more of that. Adam said Nick moved around the stage more than Blake has in his entire life. Blake told him cool idea and great job. Then TeamBlake had Adam Wakefield do Soulshine by the Allman Brothers Band, and Blake told him the dark chords he was using was confusing the hopeful message and advised him on a full stop moment with the band where he could hit the big note. So he played a gospel tinged organ sound to start this out, which matched well with his vocal and the guitar riffs that were coming in and out. The visuals behind him were pretty cool, and this had a great drive to it. Blake's idea worked well with the audience and complemented Adam's vocal production, and this was a really good vocal. Blake, Pharrell, and Adam stood for him. Pharrell said he was taking people to church on TV and setting them free. Adam told him he's going to be able to do anything he wants in the industry. TeamXtina had Bryan Bautista do Kiss from a Rose by Seal, and in rehearsal Christina told him to take his time and demonstrated for him. She also told him to never forget to be tender. And he was working hard with the breathing and going in and out of his falsetto for the beginning of this. It came a little easier when he could bring some power to the mix. I liked his comfort as he traversed the stage and sang to the audience, and I was surprised he didn't hit the falsetto on the full stop moment but saved it for later in the end. That was like a nice little surprise for me. Pharrell told him there's a record deal for him for sure and mentioned his accuracy. TeamAdam then had Owen Danoff do 7 Years by Lukas Graham, and Adam told him to sing out more and to vary the song with punctuation. Owen wanted to play the bass, but Adam advised him not to do it, and he stood at the the mic to sing this with some big candles behind him, and he didn't play the bass. He seemed really invested in these lyrics and really told the story. The melody was a little repetitive, but he did vary things a little with the intensity changes. This was one of the most personal performances of the night. Pharrell called him quite the vocalist and said the performance packed a mean punch. TeamXtina had Alison Porter do Stone Cold by Demi Lovato, and Christina came right in to sing a big note for her while she was in rehearsal and reminded her about elongation. So on stage, her voice really evoked the cold in the title as she started this out, but she wailed right into the chorus and heated it up quickly. Those riffs up into the big notes just flowed out of her, and she handled the back and forth with the small to the really big very well, nice and tender, and then big and powerful and just angsty, just nice emotion on the end also, and all the coaches stood for her. Adam wasn't sure what to say, but said she epitomizes what the show is about. Blake said every time she comes out is phenomenal and asked her, can't she suck sometimes? TeamBlake next had Paxton Ingram do Hands to Myself by Selena Gomez, and Blake told him to have more of a grip on the song and still have an intense feel on it. So for me, this was a strange song choice from Paxton, but I was feeling his sound as he started out the vocal. He definitely had a lot of energy to spare as he performed on the platform and made his way down to the front of the stage, down steps and everything. I like this vocally much better than last week, and it really gave him a chance to show some like depth and some height and really be engaging, and a lot of melody to work with. Pharrell said there were a lot of really interesting parts and said you could tell when he was performing that he enjoyed being a vessel. And he also asked him to sing something inspirational. TeamPharrell had Hannah Houston do Something's Got a Hold on Me by Etta James, and Pharrell told her every decision she makes is writing her future and told her to call the shots. So she raised the key. He also mentioned her directing the notes with her finger, and he said he liked that. She had a nice intensity as she started this out with a nice growl at the back of her throat on the big notes. She told the story well and interacted with the audience. She had some really great soft moments as well as some gritty moments that I really enjoyed. Adam called what she did alien soul, meaning weird and cool and messed up and perfect. Blake said it's hard to not get wrapped up in her performances and said he's a fan. And in the pimp spot tonight, TeamAdam with Shalia Fearing doing Up to the Mountain by Kelly Clarkson, and Adam encouraged her to have a blueprint and to embellish with purpose. So Shalia came in with a little hum and then a run, and oh, I love the Lord. Let me tell y'all, I was so right away. I was like, you better be right up in that moment. She was so poised and involved in this lyric and executed some wonderful melodic turns effortlessly. I really felt like she was singing this from her core, and she growled and squalled at just the right moments. The scoop into the ending was a masterful choice also. Christina called her a fearless singer and said she feels her heart when she sings. Pharrell said it felt natural and on the spot. And that's it for the commentary tonight. See you on Eliminations. Tomorrow night, only one is going home. And I think they're also going to do the Twitter save, but I'm not sure. Let me know down in the comments what you thought, and I thank you so much for joining me. This is Robert Anton. I am out.